Hello and welcome to Reflect 2020. My name's Jacqueline de Rojas. I'm President of techUK and I'm delighted to be here for the Reflect 2020 event. This is an event delivered by RS Components and the IET, focused on encouraging greater ethnic diversity in STEM companies. We're joined today by some amazing speakers who are actively seeking to redress the balance every day. So here we are today talking about diversity in STEM. Please use the hashtags on social media, Reflect 2020 and hashtag diversity in STEM. So with that, I guess it falls to me to frame the conversation. And why does diversity matter? And I've been an advocate for diversity and inclusion all my life. I'm half Chinese and I am very proud to be a woman in tech. But when we think about COVID, Black Lives Matter, deep recession, geopolitics, our world has changed fundamentally and it has changed overnight. And as leaders, we have to adapt to new and existing circumstances. And ambiguous and uncertain times require us to evolve fast, build smart partnerships, and drive the recovery agenda really hard. And people need to show up as the best versions of themselves. So diversity really matters more than before because groupthink narrows our options, especially under pressure. It creates dangerous blind spots. And in a world more reliant on tech, we just can't afford to have groupthink and narrow our options. So looking outwards, not inwards, will create better outcomes. And importantly, if we are to be better than before, we have to create a culture of innovation and where ideas flourish. So how diverse are we then? Women, for example, represent 47% of the UK workforce, but only 17% of the UK tech workforce. And only 15% of the entire tech workforce comes from an ethnic background. And these are pretty shocking stats, considering how multicultural we are and how dependent our future is on technology. And this has got to change, not just for women, but for all forms of diversity, gender, of course, introverts, extroverts, neurodiversity, regional differences, hashtag not just London, and of course, ethnicity. And I'm going to offer you three reasons why people normally talk about diversity. The first is because equality is, of course, a noble cause. I mean, who among us doesn't believe in equality? But if that wasn't enough, the second reason why it matters is perhaps because it's proven that diverse teams simply make better business decisions 87% of the time. One woman on the board of a business can reduce the risk of bankruptcy by 20%, just saying. And finally, and perhaps what's top of mind, is that whilst AI and machine learning and the Internet of Things can all lead to positive outcomes, they can equally lead to unintended consequences. And I offer you an example. Witness the doctor who couldn't access the gym because the swipe card wouldn't activate the lock. And after several attempts to unlock the door, the techies were called in, swipe card was changed, and it turns out that the title doctor had been designated as a male job title, and that's why she couldn't enter the locker room. And it is such a small example of bias, but it is endemic. Imagine if pilot had been hard-coded as a male job title, and a female pilot couldn't override in a crisis. Now that has massive implications. So if these decisions are increasingly made by algorithms, which decide whether you get that job interview, that place at university, or that loan, we had better make sure that people who design, build, and test our tech are diverse. Otherwise, we will create a digital world that doesn't work for everybody. And our lives are more and more dependent on technology than ever before. And most importantly, machines and software learn from its environment. So the data that they learn from must also be representative of the community that it serves. If we are to thrive in a digital future, which includes everybody, and let's face it, we all got online pretty quickly in the last few months. If we are to have a digital future that includes everybody, then all our voices must be heard when it comes to designing tech. And if we don't, we do risk creating a world which continues to perpetuate bias. I'll finish with the words of my favorite artificial intelligence guru, Dame Wendy Hall. And she said, if it's not diverse, it's simply not ethical.